Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. I couldn't wait for this. I am not lying to you all day long. As this freak show is playing out, I couldn't wait to get this video out. Well, here I am, people. Post-market wrap-up on this Friday, February 11th, 2022. I have a lot of stuff to talk about with you, so sit back and relax. Let's talk about, I guess, the market. We'll just get our bearings straight here. So we had another sell-off today after an extremely volatile day. As a matter of fact, yesterday, same thing. Just in case you want to go have a look, on Wednesday, I said the title of my video was "Something is about to happen. Be ready for it." Well, do you think I nailed that one? Yeah, pretty much, like to the minute. Look, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. It's a shit show, okay? And much of what you're seeing, in fact, all of what you're seeing, is really not what it seems to be. And I'm going to clarify that for you. You've heard me say this a gazillion times over the years if you've been with me, but this is really playing out in such a bizarre way, extremely predictable, and we need to cover that. So yes, on the back of this crazy market today, and I will elaborate on what's going on here. What else happened? I know most of you are not focused on the stock market. Like I always tell you, look over at the debt market. Did you see the 10-year yield today? What a massive move lower. We're now at 1.92 after being over 2%. What else happened? What do I tell you? You look at the 10-year yield and then your eyeball should move over and look at the relative strength of the dollar. Pretty big jump higher. What is that? Let me ask you, for those of you who have been with me for any length of time, when you see the 10-year yield drop in a kind of a big way, and the dollar surge higher, that is a fear trade. And when there is fear in the market, that's when you strike. That's when you buy. Me, I was buying the banks again today. What a surprise. I'll talk more about that too as we get through this video blog today. So let's just set the stage here. So on Wednesday, I said, the market is about to do something. Be ready for it. Well, what happened yesterday? We just briefly cover this because they do play together. We had the freaking freak of freaks, President Bullard bullshit, Fed President Bullard, coming out here, raising his fist. Oh yeah, the Fed's going to fight inflation. We're going to be aggressively raising rates moving forward. And the market didn't like that. So what happened? Well, the market sold off. Now today, it's everywhere, and I'm sure you know what I am talking about. There's all this talk about how the Russia-Ukraine issue, we are at, a boiling point, conflict at any moment here. Did you see crude oil on the back of this? We had an over 4% gain in crude oil today. Energy is going crazy. Now, I have said to all of you repeatedly that I believed that this whole thing with Russia and Ukraine is nothing but a massive arms deal in disguise, and that's exactly what it is. I am not saying there's not going to be a conflict over there. Hold that thought. But if you for 1 nanosecond don't believe that nations around the world are going to start arming themselves regardless of what happens over there, well, then again, you don't know what's going on. Let me ask you, where's the cash going to come from? Let's say, for example, the United States, or wherever you may live in the world, Europe, I don't know. Your government says, hey, you know what? We got to upgrade our weaponry. It's kind of old. We're gonna start buying weapons. Where's the cash come from? How about central banks? While we're on that thought, that wavelength of energy, which is what a thought is, okay, let's see. If in fact Russia decides to make a move into Ukraine, where do they get the cash from? How about their central bank? People, I think you know where I'm going with this here. Who's going to benefit from all this? Well, central banks. This is a game yet again being played on the world. Who finances all of this? Central banks do. I mean, come on, our forefathers. One of the reasons why here in the United States our forefathers wanted to have a gold-backed system was very simple, to prevent wars. That's number one, because how can a country finance a war if it must have its currency backed by gold unless they had an unlimited supply? This was to restrain nations. When we went on this fiat debt-based system, well, you can just create all the cash you want to. Central banks can flood the world with their product, be called on by their so-called leaders to fund wars and anything else they have to do, and they will create reasons to do it. They will create reasons to borrow into existence, for example, like starting a new arms race, like funding a new war, or whatever it might be. Come on. None of you are that stupid to think this is any different, okay? Nations around the world, they're broke. They got to get the cash from somewhere, and it comes from the central banks. These central bankers, all of them, are laughing their asses off. Apparently, there's going to be some emergency Fed meeting coming up. What do you think that is all about, really? In the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture as to what we are seeing, what do you believe? Do you think it's about an emergency rate hike? How about no? Let me explain to you why it's not about an emergency rate hike. Because if there were an emergency freaking rate hike, it would be a stunning admission that the Federal Reserve is already way behind the curve. So they will not allow themselves to be put in that light. No, the real reason for this emergency meeting of the Federal Reserve is so they can figure out how are they going to pull off what they really want to do, and that is to inflate on an epic scale because of what's going on over here between Ukraine and Russia. And let me tell you something, the central banks, they set all this up. All of this has been planned in advance. This has nothing to do with what Putin wants to do over there and when he's going to pinpoint when he's going to attack. You believe that? Really? You really still believe that presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, or dictators run the world? Honestly, are you that naive? I hope not. Because if you are, then you have been lost and you have no clue about what's going on here. All wars are banker wars. They finance it. They're the ones that put all the pawns in place. Death, whatever they got to do, okay, to fuel the machine, the debt machine, the slave system. And they string the people along with it. You get it now? You're finally understanding what's going on here? And let me say this too. If, okay, and I've raised the specter of the if quite a while now. If Russia does decide to invade Ukraine, crude oil and energy is going to freaking go parabolic. You're going to see an energy crisis around the world. Oh, another crisis? Really? Imagine my shock, a freaking another crisis. That's all we do. These crises are freaking engineered. We go from freaking scam to scam to scam to crisis to crisis to crisis to keep people in some kind of freaking state of who knows what they are, fear about everything, and they become zombified. They become able to control. Don't you see? I've explained all this to you since for how long? It's all about control. When you look at something, the way it's playing out, military buildups, weaponry, possible escalation to war, think about what's really behind it, people. It's the debt-based slave system. It's the central banks. They are the puppet masters. Forget anything else. I really hope this is sinking into your freaking head here. Anyway, so people, look. I sent this out in my newsletter, what I'm about to tell you earlier. So again, first of all, if you have not yet subbed to my newsletter, there's something seriously wrong with you. Maybe you're retarded. I'm not kidding. So sub to my free newsletter because you're going to get a lot of information there during the day. Okay, link in the description of this video. I explained that we need to take action. I'm talking about my lions mostly here. Also stackers and holders of cryptocurrency. Let's talk, you and me. Okay, sit down for a moment. Let me really calm down. I'm getting freaking bent out of shape. Anyway, so look, if we understand the game, if we realize today was a fear trade, how do we know that? 10-year yield plunging, dollars skyrocketing, stocks selling off, clear fear trade. Greg Mannarino is in here buying banks, people. What am I trying to tell you? Buy the freaking banks, okay? I've been waiting for some kind of a dip or a pullback with regard to the banks, and this may be just the beginning. Do you think I'm going to dream of selling my positions? Hell freaking no. If you recall, okay, I had gotten a lot of trouble for what I'm about to say, and I'm going to say it again. At the beginning of this whole COVID thing, I said right here, get long COVID, meaning buy the market. Well, everyone else said, oh, this is going to be it. The market's going down. We're going to crash. COVID, blah, blah, blah. I said, get long COVID. And people were blaming me for capital. Oh, Greg Mannarino, he's telling people to buy the market. He's trying to capitalize on it. Meanwhile, everyone was saying the market was going to go down. My call was right, okay? And I'm telling you right here, again, this thing over there, get long Russia, Ukraine. Yes, the market could potentially take a hit. Probably will. It probably a nice size hit if war actually breaks out over there, but that's going to be short-lived. You're going to see the market drop, and I'll be buying all the way freaking down. I don't pick tops and bottoms, okay? You want to get into that business? Good for you. That's not me. You want to short this market? Good for you. Try that. Some of you are going to make money. A lot of you are going to lose. I'm a steady player here, and I know how to recognize opportunity, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to learn how to recognize opportunity. Banks are going to fund this whole damn thing, okay? And I'm not looking to capitalize on war or death or anything like that, because I know I'm going to be blamed for that. Oh, look at Greg Mannarino. He's telling people to buy the market, and I will be proven correct yet again. Just like I said, get long COVID. Get long this shit too, because it's a shit show. You want to let the shit show beat you? Good for you. It's not going to beat me. All right, I can promise you right now, there's no way on this earth or off this freaking earth that whatever happens is going to get the better of this guy. Whether or not it gets the better of you, I don't know. Okay, that's your choice as to what you want to do. Anyway, look, I think you got it, people. And you know, look, with regard to rushing in here, absolutely not. If you own the banks, okay, like I've been telling all of you for the longest time, no reason to go crazy here. Okay, you always need to keep some powder dry. You not only should you be buying banks, you should be buying tech. Did you see what happened to tech today? I explained to you in my Wednesday video, my warning, something is about to happen. Be ready for it. I was saying in that video, we need this market to drop. We need this market to fall. Bang! The last 2 days. You think that was by accident? Really, you think I pulled that out of a hat? How about no? Anyway, so now that we got what we wanted here, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to let this opportunity pass you by? Or are you going to do something about it? I sincerely believe this is massive opportunity. There's nothing going on here in the debt market, which is where the real crash is going to start. As a matter of fact, the 10-year yield dropped. The MMRI, which still remains my version of the MMRI, link in description of this video, is the best risk indicator for the market you're ever going to find. I don't care where you look. All right, that's my take on it. You're allowed to have your own opinion. But did you see it? It came down. Came down. The MMRI has never been wrong since the first day I put it out. So if you want to check it out, it's free. It's freaking free. Again, link in the description of this video. Is this sinking in? What I have said to you, pause for a moment. I'm going to stop talking for just a moment. I want you to think. What I have outlined for you so far in this video blog, are bells going off? Ding, ding, ding. Is it making sense to you what I am freaking saying? Take a moment, think about it. And I want you to post here in the comments, for which I will read. Yes, Greg, makes sense to me. Or no, Greg, you're out of your freaking mind. You know what? Maybe I am out of my freaking mind. But with regard to this market, no, I got this market because I am this market. Okay, and I'm telling you how it's going to work. I've been 100% right with this market for the longest freaking freak show over time. You know, with regard to the comments, okay, I believe I made a freaking breakthrough here. YouTube, as you well know, screens every single comment, every one of them that comes through. Well, I've been trying to get YouTube to release comments that they've been holding. Well, I got it done, okay? Thousands of comments that have been held back from all of you are now going to start appearing in all of my videos. So please comment. I want to hear from you. I want to see if YouTube is actually doing what they say they're going to do, that is stop. Okay, there's no reason why they should be screening every single comment here. Some of the comments don't show up for days. You might post something on this video blog, it doesn't show up for 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week. It's insanity, people. Look, they're obviously trying to control the flow of information. Whether or not they're still going to do that remains to be seen. But I can tell you that today I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts dumped on me, and they want me to go through these if I want to have them posted. I posted every single one. I didn't even read them. I just want your voice to be heard. I want this to be a platform where people's voices can be heard. So anyway, like I said, post. Let's talk about some other things here, people. I think I've covered like so much with you so far. Let me go on here a little bit with regard to this Russia-Ukraine issue. Yes, I would expect, if in fact there is an incursion, for this market to take a hit. And I will be buying on the way down because I can tell you the rebound is going to be freaking epic. With regard to the emergency meeting and the Federal Reserve, what they're really talking about is, again, how they can keep pumping easy money. And they will. I still believe, even if we get an outbreak of war over there, okay, they're still going to raise rates come March, okay? 1/4 percentage point would be my best guess here, okay? A 1/2 percentage point, I doubt it, especially if there's some escalation of military activity over there. They are going to pump the economy full of more cash created out of thin air, and it's not just going to be the Fed. The European Central Bank is going to go ballistic, okay? This is an excuse. This is all set up by the banks, obviously, what's going on over there. Okay, it has nothing to do with anything else. This is about the debt-based economic model, the slave system, and what central banks are doing. They are going to do things you can't believe. How many times have you heard me say that? They even shut down the economy so they could finish their job to be the lender and buyer of last resort. You think they wouldn't use something like this again to say, okay, hold on a minute now. Yeah, let's start printing. Let's create more cash out of thin air. Let's destroy the world. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're doing. If you don't see that already, a world, an economy in free fall, citizens in debt beyond their eyeballs, a complete wipeout of an entire class of people, you don't see this right before your freaking eyeballs? But that's what's going on with this meeting here with the Federal Reserve, their secret meeting. It has nothing to do with an emergency rate hike. I know a lot of you think it does because you don't know what's going on. Do you really think the Fed would do something like that and make an admission that they got it wrong? They're never going to admit they're wrong. No, okay? And they haven't been wrong. The Federal Reserve has been deliberately trying to inflate successfully on a massive scale since forever here, especially since the last meltdown and the last 3 presidents who have done nothing but call on the Federal Reserve to inflate, pump the market, record high, rah, rah, rah. Are you kidding me? Where have you been? Where have you been? Are you not watching what's going on? Anyway, what else do I want to talk about here, people? I already talked about this potential energy crisis. Crisis. There's always a freaking crisis that they're going to suck your skull dry. Don't you see what they're doing to you? You're being punished. You have a target on your face. How many times have I told you that? If you are a member of the middle class, they want you gone and they want you dead, okay? You have a target on your face and you're under attack, and what are you doing about it? Sitting there watching your TV? Thinking about who may or may not win the next election? Really? You still think your vote counts? I tell you, there's some brain dead people around here. It's absolutely out of control. All right, look, I don't even want to talk about this stuff anymore. I have covered things in this video that I think are exceedingly important, okay? I'm telling you how this is going to play out and why it's working the way that it is. People, like, you really don't know what's going on. You should be very clear as to what is happening and why it is happening, and then what you're going to do about it. If you realize that the market, again, is going to rebound off of whatever may or may not happen over there, that's what's going to happen, you need to be long this market. More specifically, the banks. I love the banks here. Large cap dividend paying stocks. You know that already. I'm not going to cover it. But if you also understand that the debt is going to balloon moving forward on the back of what central banks are determined to do, well, then you should be, again, hoarding physical gold, physical silver, more specifically physical silver, platinum, palladium as well, and yes, cryptocurrencies. They need to be in your portfolio in one shape or form or the other. You want to pick one? How about Bitcoin? I don't know. It's the easiest one. You can get it anywhere you want. I personally feel that Bitcoin is massively undervalued based on expanding global debt, based upon the current market capitalization of cryptocurrencies in aggregate. This is going to grow much bigger, probably exponentially, when we do finally get that meltdown in the debt market and cash just moves. People, look, I am trying my damn hardest to help you understand what's really happening and then do something. That's what I'm all about here. I am not a doomer. I am not a freaking gloomer. I'm a guy that tries to lay out what I see going on. And whether I'm right or wrong, I tell you what's on my mind and what's in my heart. That is the truth. And if it makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I mean it. Maybe I really don't know what I'm talking about. I want to hear from you. Does what I said or have the things I've told you in this video, does it make sense to you? Do you really understand how the world is nothing but a chessboard and it's being run by central banks who are pulling the strings? They're funding all of this here. Who's benefiting? You have to look at who benefits from what's going on with regard to world affairs. It should be a no-brainer to you. Once you understand that, everything else should become clear. You know what to do, when to do it, and why. Make sense? All right, look, this video is freaking long. I want you to bring it in because we really do need to embrace the three things I leave you off with every Friday, okay? Are you ready? Bring it in. Love each other, care about each other, be charitable. I will see all of you on Sunday or sooner, depending on what's going on, for my markets a look ahead. If something breaks out here sooner and I need to do some kind of a report, I will do it. But I would like to have one day off. I'm not going to lie. I do this 6 days a week for all of you. Twice a day during the week. All right? And I don't know. Look, I'm a passionate guy. You all know that about me. But for the most part, I have been unbelievably correct about the market, most of the components of the market, how things would play out. Sure, I have been wrong as well on certain occasions. I can't be right 100% of the time. I'm just a guy. I am just a guy trying to come up with the most likely scenarios so we can capitalize on it. Okay? And we don't even have to be right a vast majority of the time. We just have to be right most of the time. And I think I've kept all of you on the right side of this. We got it. Okay? I don't know how to say this another way. We know what they're going to do before they do it. We can make pretty accurate predictions on the market. Wednesday, like I said, something's about to happen. Be ready for it. Bang. Here we are now. Okay, we can do these things. But then we got to act. We have to understand what to do about it. Because again, they're trying to destroy us all. They're trying to destroy us all in every capacity they possibly can. This guy, at least I can do one thing. And that is help you to understand the financial markets. They are a freak show of the highest order. Okay? But I think I have a good handle on it, and I want you to understand it so you as well can make the correct decisions for yourself and your family moving forward. Does that make sense to you? Look, I really love all of you. I really do. Please, I'm going to ask you, especially with this video, down here is a thumbs up. Please click it. You have no idea, that little thumb, when I see likes, it makes me happy. Okay, it's not so hard to make Greg Mannarino happy. And then share this video. I am not on a single social network, not one. I rely on you to get my work out there. How does that happen in the modern day and age where everybody is on a social media network, not me? It's you. You are the people I rely on to get this stuff out, and I really count on you. I really do. And I know you count on me. That's why I got you back. Love you a lot. See you Sunday. I am so out of here.